So yeah, here we are back again on the Contrarians. This is when we do our special, shorter little short snappers episodes where we look at the comments people have put in. Keep bringing them in. We love them, and we'll keep mentioning you and reading your comments and honoring you and your opinions in these feedback episodes. So we did one on Kiss earlier, and I just want to read Marco a few comments here and see if he can comment on these comments. Damien Karras. Oh, hang on. Damien Karras said. Okay, so he says most of the old Kiss albums are not properly certified by the RIAA. First three were certified gold in 77 and Alive gold in 75. All four are still sitting at gold over 40 years later. This happens a lot. Are we expected to believe that these albums haven't shipped 1 million copies each in 42 years with all the reissues over the years on cassette, then CD again, then vinyl again, and so forth? And Alive has always been accepted as their biggest seller, yet it is also still gold, which, because it is a double album, is based on 250,000 copies shipped 500,000 units. Yeah, that's always confusing for people. I think not. And Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun have to be multi-platinum 40 years later. I remember Aerosmith Toys in the Attic in 75 was gold, and then 11 years later in 86 it was 4 times platinum, and 6 years after that it was 6 times platinum, and in 2002 8 times platinum. Yet Alive, one of the biggest and greatest live albums, is still only gold. Those first 4 albums have never been recertified since the platinum album was introduced in 77. This is really good stuff, by the way. Either the label or band or songwriters have to request the album to be recertified, and it costs money, I get it. But Gene, lover of money and accolades, won't pay to get these albums recertified, ? As it stands, the Peter Criss solo album has outshipped Kiss Alive and Dressed to Kill. Anyone actually believe that? Plus Creatures and Asylum and Hot in the Shade have to be over 1 million by now, and Crazy Nights and Animal Eyes are also rumored to be close to 2 million. Even The Elder must be gold by now. Sonic Boom has sold over 300,000 copies, so because it's a double album, it should also be gold. I'm not sure of some of these numbers, but most of my statements make sense. Kiss albums deserve recertification. Nobody believes Kiss Alive is only gold. How does one gold album save a whole label? Cheap Trick at Budokan is triple platinum, and Frampton Comes Alive is a double album and 8 times platinum, but Kiss Alive only gold. Anyone think Frampton outsold Kiss 16-1? Thoughts? This is Shane, Damien Karras, by the way, Martin. Hope you like the Queensryche. Very cool comment.
Wow, there's a lot to work with there. So it sounds like you're mostly commenting on the sales figures of all the albums. And they, when you listen to interviews with Gene and Paul, they always talk about how they have 80 million albums sold worldwide. But if you look at their RIAA certifications, it wouldn't represent that. I actually, interestingly enough, heard a conversation with Eddie Trunk, who's a radio DJ, who talks about heavy metal and hard rock. Just a couple months ago, where he talked about this exact same thing. And I think he mentioned that the process to recertify old albums is a process that I guess Gene Simmons and Kiss just don't want to go through at this point. There's no point. It costs money and it takes time, and whatever resources that they need to put together to do that just doesn't make sense, because the same amount of people are going to show up to their concerts. The same amount of people are still going to buy their merchandise, whether their old albums say that they're certified gold or whatever.
I think it's crazy, though, because it's really one of the main... I mean, Gene loves the accolades the band gets. He loves the awards. Mm-hmm. Basically, I think the most meaningful award that a band could have is having, like, literally, I'm not even talking about having the gold and platinum albums, but having it show up on Wikipedia when you click on discography and being able to see all that there. Mm-hmm. So I think this is one of the big areas where a band should always be recertified completely up to date. Mm-hmm. I believe Iron Maiden's somewhat the same situation. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this recertification process that happens with a lot of big bands over the years, Damien's absolutely right. I mean, these numbers could be much bigger, and it makes the band look way more like Titans than they are. Because right now, Kiss looks like, they have to run around saying that thing about, oh, we have more gold albums in a row than the Beatles and stuff. Well, like, how many platinums would they have if they went back for proper recertification? I'm not saying I know for sure that this is what's going on with Kiss, but it sounds very plausible to me.
I don't know for sure either. Let me get this back for you.
Okay. Okay, you want me to go on to the next comment?
Sure.
Okay, so the next one is from Ryan Sessions. I love Hotter Than Hell, but my favorite is still Destroyer. On the Kiss topic, I would love to hear you guys discuss Carnival of Souls. Since one of the characteristics of Hotter Than Hell was how heavy it was, Carnival of Souls would be a good discussion. Off the topic, Martin, congrats on meeting the band and not having to remove your Thin Lizzy shirt. And Marco, where did you get the Kelly Kapowski shirt? I need that in black. Love the show.
I won't plug like another place, but if you go on the internet and just search Kelly Kapowski, you should be able to find it. In terms of, he mentioned Carnival of Souls being really heavy, and what was our opinion or my opinion or both of our opinions on Carnival of Souls. I do think Carnival of Souls is really heavy. I do also think it's not a very kissy sounding album. And it kind of falls more into that early 90s or mid 90s type of, I don't want to say grunge, but it does have that kind of, it does seem like they're kind of chasing that dragon when they're doing Carnival of Souls, where to me Hotter Than Hell was more authentic in terms of heaviness, and I just like more of the classic rock style than I do maybe more that style of Kiss.
I love Carnival of Souls. I loved it when it came out, and it is that grungy thing. It's that dark thing. It's a little bit Alice in Chains, a little bit Soundgarden. But I like when these quote unquote hair metal bands or heritage bands, because both did it. I loved when some of these bands were trying to stretch out and did that. Some of the classic examples. I remember CMC Records, Slaughter. Not Slaughter so much, but Warrant a little bit. Def Leppard, certainly with Slang, tried a little bit of this.
Vanilla Ice.
I think Vanilla Ice, okay. I don't know. I think Poison might have did a little bit of a dark album. Cinderella maybe with Still Climbing. I'm not positive on that, but this Kiss one was very much that way. Absolutely, right. They were trying to make sort of a dirtier, darker album, and I thought it was a great record.
And that's the thing too. Like I like when Kiss is trailblazing rather than following. And I guess that's why I like Hotter Than Hell better.
Yeah. Okay. And just a couple other short comments. Scott DeRosa writes in, great video. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scotty.
And Keith Martin says, Hotter Than Hell is my go-to Kiss LP too. It never gets old to me.
And it's never gotten old for me either.
Absolutely,
thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We will see you on another regular episode, and we'll see you on other feedback episodes of The Contrarians.